So, hello students, good evening each and every one of you. Welcome to Karnataka. This is Baswaraj sir, your biology master teacher. Good evening each and every one of you. Students, quickly let me know in the chat right now if I'm audible and visible to each and every one of you. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Now students, those of you are wondering, sir, where are the notes? Notes have been done because we have multiple teachers, right? So all the multiple PDFs has to be combined into one PDF. And the link will be available to you today itself. Okay, so don't worry about the notes and everything. We'll be giving it to you. Now notes on naven madada. Nim kodbek tane notes na. Sarina. So students, as usual, we will start with first chapter, sexual reproduction of flowering plants. Each chapter inda ella taraddu 3 mark question discuss madada first. Okay na. So let's not waste any time, students. Let's get into the entire video. Okay, today's session. Now, each chapter inda I told you before. ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Look at the question here, students. The question is very simple. The question is asking you, describe the structure of mature pollen grain. ಈ mature pollen grain ದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, with a label diagram and answer. ನೋಡಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಈ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಗೆ ಆಚೆಗಡೆ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈ ತರ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಈ ತರ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಈ ತರ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನೀವು ಲೇಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಅಂತ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಅಂತ. ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರಿಬೇಕು. ಸಂಜು PDF ಇವತ್ತು ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. PDF ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ದು PDF ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಮರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಆ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಟೀಮ್ ಇಂದ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಪೋಲನಿನ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪೆಕ್ಟಿನ್. ಈ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಂತು. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ 2 ತರ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜನರೇಟಿವ್. ನೋಡಿ, ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, ಜನರೇಟಿವ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್. ಇದು 2 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಈ 2 ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಜನರೇಟಿವ್, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಒನ್, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಒನ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೇನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಈ 2 ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯನ್ಸ್, ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್? ಬೇಗ ನಂಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮತ್ತು ಜನರೇಟಿವ್. ಈ 2 ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಜನರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೆಲ್? ಇದೇನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇದು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತೀಯ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕದು. ಈ ಜನರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 2 ಬೇರೆ ಸೆಲ್ಗೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 2 ಮೇಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೈಗೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಈ ಜನರೇಟಿವ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್, ಇಂಟೈನ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೇ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್? ವೆಜಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, generative nucleus reserved food material. Generative nucleus divides into 2 cells into future, divide into 2 different nuclei actually in the future. ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್ ಸೀಡ್? ಇದು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಟು ದ ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಏನು? ವೀಟ್ ಮೇಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಖಲಾಸ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ ಫುಲ್ಲು. ಸಿ, ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೀನ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಟೈನ್ಡ್. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ದು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರಿನಾ? ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಬುಮಿನಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮಿಕ್, ನಾನ್ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮಿಕ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡೈಸೇಷನ್, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರಿನಾ. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಆಂಥರ್ ತಗೋತೀರಾ, ಆಂಥರ್ ಇಂದ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ? ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾಗೆ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ, ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್. ಈ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ನೀವು ನೀವೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಸರಿನಾ. ನೀವೇ ಖುದ್ದಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಥರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡೈಸೇಷನ್. ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 3 ಮೇನ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಸ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್, ಬ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಟ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ. ನೌ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಸ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಸರಿನಾ, ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬೈಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಇದು ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ, ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಓವರಿ. ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ, ಸ್ಟೈಲ್, ಓವರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಥರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಟೇಕ್, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಆಂಥರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಟೇಮನ್ ಇದು, 2 ಸ್ಟೇಮನ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಪಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಇದೆ और ಕಾರ್ಪಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ bisexual flower. This is a bisexual flower. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕರೋಲಾ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು, ಕರೋಲಾ ಸರಿನಾ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ bisexual flower here. Bisexual flowers. ಇಮ್ಯಾಸ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇಮ್ಯಾಸ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಆಂಥರ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಇಮ್ಯಾಸ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ 1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾವು ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿದ್ನ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ? ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ದ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್. ಆ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನಾವು. ಅದಕ್ಕಂತಾನೆ ಈ ಬೈಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ರಿಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಆಂಥರ್. ನೀವೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ಆಂಥರ್ನ ನಾವು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆಂಥರ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಅ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ? ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ದಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್? ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದಟ್ ರಿಸ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಟು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದಿಸ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ ದ ಆಂಥರ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಸ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್. ವೈ ಬ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್? ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕವರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕವರು. ಯಾಕೆ? ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಬಂದು ಬೀಳಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅನ್ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗು. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವೊಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ಯಾವ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಈ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ 3 steps ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡೈಸೇಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನೋಡಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್? ಆಗಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಎನಿ 4 ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಂಡ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಈ ತರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವಿಂಡ್, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವಾಟರ್. ಎರಡದ್ದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ವಿಂಡ್ ಏನಿದೆಪ್ಪ? ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕದಿದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಾರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಕಲರ್ಲೆಸ್, ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಕಲರ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ಇನ್ಸೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಡರ್ಲೆಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಟರ್ಲೆಸ್, ಸೇಮ್ ರೀಸನ್. ವಿ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಎನಿ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೂವು ಹತ್ರ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು? ದ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟರ್ಸ್. ಇದು ವಿಂಡ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಎನಿ ಓಡರ್, ವಿ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಎನಿ ಕಲರ್ಫುಲ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್, ವಿ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡ್ ಎನಿ ನೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. But what do we need? Pollen are light, non-sticky, winged, well-exposed, long stamen, long style and feathery stigma. ಈ ತರ ಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ, ಸರಿನಾ? So those were the questions from this chapter. Now we go to human reproduction. Now what is the main question here? ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನೆ ತಾನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. 2 mark ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಸೇಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ 3 mark ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. But in 3 mark question they can ask you function ಕೂಡ. ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ, seminal vesicle gland, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland, also called as Cowper gland. Okay, ಈ ಮೂರು ಗ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ fructose, alkaline fluid, secretion of mucus during for lubrication. 3 different functions. Same placenta kuda 4 different functions of placenta. So same type of question is repeated. The only difference is going to be the number of points you write. Placenta, what is the main function? Provides oxygen and nutrition to the fetus, removes waste product from the blood, produces hormone. That is, placenta is acting like a temporary endocrine gland. So HCG, HPL kuda ide, matte HP ide, HPL ide, human placental lactogen, progesterone, estrogen. Okay, so ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅವರು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆನೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಪಾರ್ಚುರೇಷನ್, ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೇಷನ್. ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅವರು 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಚುರೇಷನ್? ಪಾರ್ಚುರೇಷನ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಬೇಬಿ ಡೆಲಿವರಿ ಆಗೋದು, process of childbirth. What is lactation? Production and secretion of milk. That is lactation. They can ask you one more question here. During lactation, right, where is milk produced and stored? Answer, alveoli. The milk is produced in alveoli and stored in alveoli duct or alveoli cavity store ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನೋಡಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫೇಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರುಯಲ್ ಸೈಕಲ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರೀ ಫೇಸಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದೇ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಆಗಿ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ದೇ ವುಡ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. ಈಗ ಬರೀ ಫೇಸ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು? ಮೆನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರುಯಲ್ ಫೇಸ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಫಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರಿ ಫೇಸ್, second one. Ovulatory phase, that is on the 14th day there is something called as LH surge, increase in luteinizing hormone, and last is luteal phase. Then they can ask you difference between spermatogenesis and oogenesis, the famous question. Same question can also be asked for 2 mark, this one, for 2 mark, this one, separately for 2 mark, together for 3 mark. Okay, for 3 mark. They can ask you the structure of the entire ovary. In a ovary structure, can you see here? This is the entire diagrammatic section of ovary. Here you can see it has an outer layer called as epithelium. Epithelium is the outer layer. Then inner part is called as stroma. Outer cortex, there is something called as idu. Stroma dalli there are 2 parts. Idu outer ideyala, outer cortex, ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ outer cortex. Middle part ಏನು? It's called as inner medulla. So there is inner medulla on the inside, outer cortex or peripheral cortex, that is part of stroma. ಇದು ಏನು ಆಚೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಏನು? That is called as epithelium, thin epithelium, very thin epithelium on the outside. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ they can ask you the different types of the follicle. They can ask you the function of tertiary follicle or properties of tertiary follicle. ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ ಅವಾಗ? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಚಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ನನಗೆ let me look at the chat right now. ನನ್ನ ಫೋನ್ ಮರ್ತು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ. Students, can anyone tell me the function of tertiary follicle? Tertiary follicle ದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ನನಗೆ? Characters of tertiary follicle. For example, tertiary follicle has a cavity in the middle or a fluid filled cavity. Can anyone tell me what is the fluid filled cavity found in tertiary follicle? Really big. That is called as antrum. So fluid filled cavity is called as antrum, is present in tertiary follicle. Tertiary follicle showing antrum. Idu antrum idu. Tertiary follicle showing antrum. Sarna? Or they can ask you, in the case of tertiary follicle, there is something called as theca externa, theca interna. Division of theca agutte illi. Sarna? No. Principles of inheritance the question baratte. First, idu famous question, ille mark ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ತುಂಬಾ important question idu. That is, why did Mendel select pea plant? Mendel pea plant na ಯಾಕೆ choose ಮಾಡ್ದ? What is the main reason for it? Okay, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. They have distinct contrasting traits. That is, 14 traits can be seen very easily. 14 traits medal ondidu. Short life cycle, easy to cultivate. Life cycle ತುಂಬಾ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ and can be easily ತುಂಬಾ ಬೆಳೆಸಬಹುದು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ, ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ಶೂರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಲೈನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇನ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಹಿ ಟುಕ್ ದ ಪೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, ಅದು ನೆನಪಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. 7 ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, 14 ಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, ನೆನಪಿರ್ಲಿ ಅದು. ಸರಿನಾ? ನಾ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಹೆಟಿರೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟಿ. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು. ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಚಾಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ, in the case of humans, is it the male or female who decides the sex of the offspring? Magu, it is going to be boy or it is going to be girl. Who decides this, students? Who decides this? Yaar decide ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ? Is it the chromosome of male or chromosome of female? Usually what happens is, in the case of humans, males generally have 2 chromosomes. X chromosome, Y chromosome. ಅದೇ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ XX chromosome. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಯೋಷ್ಟು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದರೆ XX ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ Y ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮು ಈ X ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದರೆ XY ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಬಂತು? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಬಂತು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲ್ ಬಂತು. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ of male decides the sex of the offspring. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ X ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಫೀಮೇಲು, Y ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲು. ಸರಿನಾ? This is called as male heterogamity, where males decide the sex of the child. ಇದನ್ನ ಮೇಲ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟಿ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಕೋಳಿಯಿಂದ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಕೋಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ 2 different types of chromosomes. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಸ್ 2 types of gametes here, that is ZW in the case of ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ತರ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಹೆಂಗೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ XY in the case of ಮೇಲ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ZW ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಮೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ZZ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ZZ in the male. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟಿ, ಮೇಲ್ ಹೆಟೆರೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿಟಿ. ವೆರಿ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇದು, ನೆನ್ಪಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದನ್ನ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ದ ಫಿನೋಟಿಪಿಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಜಿನೋಟಿಪಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಕ್ಲೈನ್ಫೆಲ್ಟರ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್. ನೆನೆ ತಾನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ. ಕ್ಲೈನ್ಫೆಲ್ಟರ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮು, ಟರ್ನರ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೌನ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್. ಈ 3 ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ. ಇದರಿಂದ 1 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. 3 ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಂಡ್ರೋಮ್ಸ್. ನೆನ್ನೆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸರಿನಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆನ್ಸ್. ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಗ್ರಿಗೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಸಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಜನರಲಿ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಅದೇ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಅವರು 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಜೀನ್ಸು. ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಕರ್ ಇನ್ ಪೇರ್. In dissimilar pair of factors, one member of the pair dominates over the other. ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? For example, dissimilar pair of traits, capital T small t. Dissimilar pair of factors, alleles dissimilar ಆಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದು capital T ಒಂದು small t. ಈ capital T small t ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? One allele is dominant, one allele is recessive here. ಇದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್, ಅದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಗೋನ್ ಬಿ recessive in nature. Clear? Capital T is dominant, small t is recessive. This is called as law of dominance. Okay. Adu bitre they can ask you what is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Very famous question. First of all, yaar ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ರು? That is Surton and Boveri. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. In 1902, ವಾಲ್ಟರ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಥಿಯೋಡರ್ ಬೋವೆರಿ, ಈ 2 ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟು ಈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಸೇ? ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದೊಂದು ಕೈ. ನಾನು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನನ್ನ ಕೈನ ಈ ತರ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಈ ಕೈನ ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ನ ಆರ್ಮ್ನ ಈ ತರ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಾ ಈ ಆರ್ಮ್ನ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ತಾನೆ. ನಾನು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ತಲೆನೂ ಮೂವ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೈ ಹೆಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಬಾಡಿ. ಆ ಥರನೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಜೀನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಜೀನ್ ಇದೆ ಸರಿನಾ? ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ತರ, ಈ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ತರ. ಈ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸು ಜೀನ್ಸು, ಕೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಇರೋ ತರ ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿ, ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮು ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮು ಮೂವ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಟು ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಆಫ್ ಜೀನ್ಸ್. ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್. ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ನಂದು ಕೈ ಈ ತರ ಮೂವ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಫಿಂಗರ್ಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮಲ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಿದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಈ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಎರಡು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇದು ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟಿಡ್ಸ್. ಈ ಎರಡು ಕ್ರೊಮ್ಯಾಟಿಡ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಆ ಜೀನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ ಆರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಏನು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಯೂಶಲಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ತಗೋಬೇಡಿ. ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಫೇಮಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಇದು pyramids. This is called as age pyramid. There are 3 different types of pyramids here. One is called as expanding, one is called as your stable, one is called as a declining. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, in expanding ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು, ಈ yellow color part ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, that is called as pre-reproductive. ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು reproduction ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸರಿನಾ? post reproductive, old people. ನೀವು expanding ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, pre-reproductive is more than reproductive. ಹೌದಾ? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Reproductive is more than post-reproductive. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಬೇಗ ಒಂದು. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಈ ತರ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಪ್ರೀ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಟು ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದೊಂದು ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಶೇಪ್. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು, ಇದು ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಶೇಪ್, ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಶೇಪ್. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೆಲ್ ಶೇಪ್. ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ಬೆಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಬೆಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಇದೆ ಸರಿನಾ? ಇನ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ ಕಲರು ಬ್ಲೂ ಕಲರು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೀ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. And both of them are more than post reproductive ಕಿಂತ ಎರಡು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. And such a condition is found in the case of developed country. USA ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. USA, ಕೆನಡಾ ಆಗಲಿ ಆ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಈ ಥರ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾರ್ವೆ ಆಗಲಿ. Now what is a declining population? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇಪ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as urn shape. ಇದು urn shape. Now such population is found in the case of your war countries. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? war countries. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇವನ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಪಾನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ತರ ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ವಾರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಸಿರಿಯಾ, ಪ್ಯಾಲೆಸ್ಟೈನ್, ಯುಕ್ರೇನ್. ಸೊ ಆ ತರ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಕ್ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ನಮ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್, ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್? Logistic growth is a growth which is more logical. That is, in the environment, environmentally, there is always limited space, limited food. ಈ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಗ್ರೋ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಲಾಜಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಲಾಜಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ that starts exponentially but slow down at population, which is the carrying capacity. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಸ್ ಶೇಪ್ ಕರ್ವ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾಯ್ಡ್ ಶೇಪ್. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅಟ್ ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಸೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮನೆದು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇನ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ 4 ಜನ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ, 4 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಊರವರು ಲಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಊರೇ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾಳೆಗೆ, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನನ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ತುಂಬ ಚಿಕ್ಕದು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ತುಂಬ ಚಿಕ್ಕದು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆದು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿನ ದಾಟಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎನ್ ಬೈ ಕೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್? ಡಿ ಎನ್ ಬೈ ಡಿ ಟಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕೆ ಮೈನಸ್ ಎನ್ ಬೈ ಕೆ. ಕೆ is called as carrying capacity here. K is called as the carrying capacity here. So ಈ carrying capacity ಕೂಡ they can ask you separate question also. R is natural rate of, intrinsic rate of natural increase. They can ask you what is carrying capacity. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. They can ask you what is concept of exclusion principle. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು, Gauss exclusion principle. When two different organisms are in one area, ನಮ್ಮ ತಂಗಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದೇ ಮನೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟು, ಇಬ್ರು ಫೈಟ್ ಆಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾರು ಫೈಟ್ ಗೆಲ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರು ಫೈಟ್ನ ಸೋಲ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂಗೆ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗೂ, ಸರ್ನಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್. ಇನ್ ಅ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟೂ ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್. Whichever is the dominant species will always get the food, recessive species will not get, and recessive species will always perish. Nodi, one species will be more efficient in utilizing the resources, leading to the exclusion of other. ಬೇರೆದು ಸತ್ತೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನೋ, two bird species competing for the same food in the same area, one species may outcome the other. One species ಗೆಲ್ಲುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಸೋಲುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ 10% ಲಾ. 10% ಲಾ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಲಾ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಈಗ. 10% ಲಾನು, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ನ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಹಾಪರ್ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಹಾಪರ್ನ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ನೇಕ್ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದೆ. This is a simple food chain. Let's say ನನ್ನ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ, let's say we have 10,000 kilojoules of energy in plant. ಅದೇ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಹಾಪರ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇಂದ? ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರೀ 10% ಮಾತ್ರ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು, ಈ 10,000 ಬರೀ 1000 ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ? ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಗೆ ಬರೀ 100 kilojoules ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರೀ 10 kilojoules ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 10% ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸರ್ನಾ? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ 10% ಲಾ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲ್ ಈಗ, ಸರ್ನಾ? ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಈ ಥರ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಈ ಫ್ರಾಗಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಸ್ 10 kilojoules. 10 kilojoules ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದೆ ಫ್ರಾಗಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್? ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ? ಎಸ್, ಲಿಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಲಾ, 10% ಲಾ. ಹೇಳು ಬೇಗ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇರಬೇಕು? ಫ್ರಾಗಲ್ಲಿ 10 kilojoules ಇದ್ದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ 10 ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಇರುತ್ತಾ? ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1000 ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 1000 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೂಲ್ಸ್. 1000 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೂಲ್ಸು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 100, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1000 ಆ ಥರ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆರ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಈ ಸ್ನೇಕಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಹೋಪರಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೋಲ್ಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದೆ. ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಹೋಪರಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೋಲ್ಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ನೇಕಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ? Let's say here 10 kilojoules. Here we will have 1 kilojoule. Here we will have 0.1 kilojoule. 0.1 kilojoule. So ಆ ಥರ 10% ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಮುಂಚೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ಸ್. ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಇದು ಕೂಡ. ಸೊ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಡ್ರಾ ದ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ. ಇದು ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ಟಾನ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಝೂಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ಟಾನ್. ಝೂಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ಟಾನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟೇಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀರಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ನೀರಲ್ದು. ಸೊ ಇದು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಡ್ರಾ ದ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಉಲ್ಟಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಡ್ರಾ ದ ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಅಪ್ರೈಟ್. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಪಿರಮಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ. 10% ಲಾ ನೋಡಿ, 10,000, 1000, 100, 10% ಲಾ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. 10% ಲಾ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಯು ಎಕ್ಸಿಟು, ಇನ್ಸಿಟು. ವೆರಿ ಫೇಮಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸಿಟು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್, ಇನ್ಸಿಟು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮನೆ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಎಕ್ಸಿಟು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಚೆ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸರಿನಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆನು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕು, ವೈಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಚುರಿ, ಬಯೋಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್, ಸೇಕ್ರೆಡ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್, ಝೂ, ಬೊಟಾನಿಕಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್, ಸೀಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಿವ್ ಬ್ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ಸಿಟು ಕೂಡ. ಇನ್ಸಿಟು. ಸರಿನಾ? 3 ಲೆವೆಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಾನು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಥರದ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಇದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ತೋತಾಪುರಿ, ಅಲ್ಫಾನ್ಸೋ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋಸು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಇರೋದು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು, ಆಂಪುರಿ, ತೋತಾಪುರಿ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಥರದ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋದಲ್ಲೇ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಸ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ದು ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸೇ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು ಲೋವರ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸೈಡ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ಈ ಕಡೆ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್, ಓಕೆ, ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸು. ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ. ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಈ ಫ್ರಾಗ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಂಫಿಬಿಯನ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಡೆ ಫ್ರಾಗ್ದು ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ. ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಲೊಕೇಶನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೇನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಇದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಏನು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು. 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು ತುಂಬ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕವರ್ಡ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ದು ಮೇನ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ಸು ಆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ನ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು? ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಫೈನಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇನ್ 1 2 3 4 5 ಸೀರೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, 1 2 3 5 ಸೀರೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಕಾಲ್ ಹಾಕದ, ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಬಂದು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿನಾ? ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮು. ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ.
Hello. All right, my ninja warriors. So we have successfully finished our biology 3-marker questions. Now is the time for mathematics, and after that physics will be starting. So the very first question on your screen, you can see straight away we are going to start without any further ado. 3-marker question right away. But before that, obviously you have to tell me that am I audible? Am I visible in the chat box? Yes, Prajwal, are you there? Am I audible, guys? Do let me know in the chat box. Okay, so the very first question is from area under curve, right? So the question says, see this 3-marker question. Now area under curve, you already know the nature of the chapter, right? First of all, you have to plot the graph. Otherwise you will lose marks, okay? And you will not be able to understand the nature of the question. Find the area of the region founded by this. Now y square is equals to 4x. What kind of curve is this? Can anybody tell me? This is a parabola. Okay. Hi, Saujamya. Hi, MVK. Good evening. Good evening, Seema. How are you? So, y square is equals to 4x. So, if you plot a curve, this is y square is equals to 4x. Rightward opening parabola. And x equals to 3. This is a straight line, correct? Let me change the color and plot the straight line. So, this is 1, 2 and 3. So this is your straight line and area bounded by this region. So if I try to shade this curve, can you see how beautiful colorful diagram I'll be able to draw? And now, so this is x equals to 3. Okay. This is x equals to 0. Understand that we have to integrate this parabola from 0 to 3. So your solution will be integration of area will be equals to required area will be integration of 0 to 3 and integration of this parabola. Now parabola is what? Tell me. So this is going to be with respect to x, you are going to integrate. So y dx. But understand, if you do that, na, y dx. If you do that, then only this first quadrant area you will be able to find, not the second one. So that is why if you want the complete area, you have to multiply it with 2. Right or wrong? So now y. What is y? Tell me. Y is root 4x dx. And integration 0 to 3, that is area and that is 2. Understand, root 4 is again 2. So area is going to be 4 times 0 to 3 and this is integration. So root x. So x power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2. Okay. And this is integration is done now. So integration symbol I'm going to remove. And I'm going to write the upper and lower limit right away. So your answer will be area equals to, so this is 4 2s are 8 by 3, x power 3 by 2 and this is 0 to 3. So if you put 3, so you're going to get root 27. Root 27 is what? 3 root 3. So this is 8 by 3 into 3 root 3 square units. Okay, 3 se 3 cancel. So final answer is 8 root 3 square units. Please do not forget to mention the square units. Otherwise, they'll deduct your marks of the units. So whenever they are asking area, do write the square units. So this is how you have to write the solution in your examination, right? So twice of 0 to 3 y dx, that's what we did. Y is root 4x. Put the value root 4 is 2. So 2 2s are 4. And now integrate, you are going to get this 8 3s are now upper limit minus lower limit. You put it and you will get it. This is your graph. So done and dusted. And now we are having another question of 3 marks. From the world of matrices, by the way, A and B are invertible matrices of same order. Then prove that AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse, right? So AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse, correct? This is what we need to prove. So understand over here, I am going to use one identity to prove it. What is that identity? That identity is A inverse is nothing but identity matrix. The very first thing, this identity which we all should know if you are preparing for your PU boards. This is very important. A inverse is equals to identity. So now this is what to prove that. To prove. Okay. Now we know that. We already know. A inverse is equals to I. So AB inverse, AB into AB inverse is also identity matrix, right or wrong? Can I write this very first statement? AB into AB inverse is equals to identity matrix. That's the first thing we need to do. Now understand that what we are going to do is both sides I am going to multiply A inverse. Both sides, okay? So from left hand side I am writing A inverse. This is already AB. This is already AB inverse. And this is your I into A inverse. So both sides, right over here, both sides, A inverse you have to do. Now if you do A inverse PDF after the session, you will get it from the description box. You will find it in notes. Now can you see this A inverse into A? A inverse into A is what? Identity matrix. So I can write this an identity matrix. And identity matrix into B is nothing but B. So this is identity into B. So this is B and then AB. In this inverse sign is here. AB inverse, correct? B into AB inverse and this is A inverse. Perfect, clear. Now what we are going to do is both sides, we are going to multiply it with B inverse. Both sides, okay? So after this, both sides multiply this with B inverse. So B inverse, then we are having B, then we are having AB inverse is equals to, now this is B inverse, A inverse. So what I did is, I pre-multiplied this B inverse on the left hand side, on the right hand side. Okay, one step at a time, you will get your answer. So now if you solve it, what are you going to get? Tell me. So B inverse B is again identity matrix. So see, A, B inverse, can you see how beautifully we have proved it? Hence proved. Clearly, ये क्या हो गया है? Hence proved. So hence proved. Okay. Getting it? Understanding it? Okay. Perfect. Give me a green signal if you have understood this whole question. So yes, what we did, first of all, we have to prove AB inverse is equals to B inverse A inverse. And what I had was that any matrix and its inverse, if you multiply, you are going to get I. So first step is multiply both side by A inverse. If you multiply A inverse over here, so A inverse into A will become identity into B will become B. So left hand side is going to be B. Then AB inverse as it is, and this is A inverse. So this is the very first step. Now what you're going to do is you're going to multiply B inverse both sides. So pre-multiplication of B inverse. So if you multiply B inverse, so B inverse B is I into anything is that. So AB inverse and over here B inverse A inverse. Can you see? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Okay, clear. Next question on your screen is right away. Very easy question, class 10th question. Please let me know that, ma'am, yes, we are getting it. Find two positive number whose sum is 15 and sum of whose squares is minimum. Two positive number whose sum is 15 and sum of whose squares is minimum. Okay. So two positive numbers whose sum is 15. So I can do x plus y or a plus b also you can take. Sum of whose squares is minimum. So they want x square plus y square to be minimum. Correct? Now what we are going to do is we are going to first of all convert this y in terms of x. So from here I'm going to get the value of y, which is 15 minus x, and put it right away. So x square plus 15 minus x whole square to be minimum. Okay. So now let us assume, let fx be this, and I want my fx to be minimum, right? So for fx to be minimum, I know that f dash x should be equals to 0. So let's differentiate f dash x. So this is 2x plus twice of 15 minus x into minus 1, correct? So, and if you equate it to 0, what you're going to get is 2 take common, x plus 15 x minus 15 plus x to be equals to 0. So from here 2x is equals to 15, x will be equals to 15 by 2. So 15 by 2 pe you are going to get minimum value. plug in this value over anywhere, na? So x is 15 by 2. Y is also going to be 15 by 2. So x square plus y square, if you want it to be minimum, that minimum value you are going to get at 15 by 2 whole square plus 15 by 2 whole square. So this is going to become 225 upon 4 into 2. So this is 225 by 2. Find the two positive numbers whose sum is 15. Sorry, so two positive numbers is going to be what? 15 by 2, 15 by 2, correct? So see, x is 15 by 2 and 15 by 2 pe y is minima. So x is also, two positive numbers are 15 by 2, 15 by 2. They are not asking you to calculate minimum value. They're not asking you to calculate minimum value, right? Okay, okie dokie. Then we are having next. Use elementary transformations to find inverse of a matrix. Elementary transformation to find inverse of a matrix. Now understand how do you find inverse of a matrix. So you know that A into A inverse is equals to identity matrix. Correct or not? Yes. So A into A inverse is equals to identity matrix. So now, so elementary transform to find the inverse of a matrix, correct? So A is given to you, which is 1, then you have 2, 2, minus 1. A inverse is what you are looking for, is equals to identity is 1, 0, 0, 1. Now you are looking for A inverse, okay? You are looking for A inverse. A inverse, how do you calculate A inverse? Or you know A inverse into A. So both sides if you multiply A, okay, A inverse is the matrix which is missing. Okay. How do you calculate? Let me know. A inverse. Okay, let's do it after a while. Okay, let's focus on this question, the next question over here. Parametric differentiation. X is given, y is given. Okay, x is given, y is given, and then show that dy by d theta is equals to tan theta by 2. Okay, so first of all, dy by d theta they are talking. Acha, dy by d theta they are talking. They are not talking about dy by dx. Or is it a misprint? Let me check. Dy by d. They should ask dy by dx, right? So dy by d theta is okay. So they are talking dy by dx. Sorry, little correction. Dy by dx is what they are talking. So understand the parametric differentiation. Dy by dx is nothing but dy by d theta upon dx upon d theta. Okay. So dy by d theta, understand, dy upon d theta is what? Differentiate this. A is right here, 1 minus cos theta derivative will be what? So cos theta ka derivative is minus sin theta, so this is A sin theta. Similarly, dx upon d theta from here, can you see A theta plus sin theta? A is constant, theta is 1 plus cos theta. Perfect. So this is dy by d theta. Now if you plug in the value, this is A sin theta, correct, upon A 1 plus cos theta. A say A, you can cancel it out, and also sin theta can be written down as 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Do you remember the formula? Upon 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos square theta by 2. Okay, 2 cancel, cos theta cancel. So tan theta by 2 is your dy by dx. Hence proved. 3 marks given just like that. Okay, 3 marks given just like that. Then we are having this question. Find the interval in which your cubic equation is strictly increasing. So we know that if a function fx is strictly increasing, then this implies f dash x will be greater than 0. So that means f of x in this question is given 2x cube minus 3x square minus 36x plus 7. F dash x is going to be 8x square minus 6x minus 36, and that is going to be greater than 0. Correct or not? Yes. And now if you take 2 common, so you are going to get x square minus 3x minus 18 greater than 0. 18. 6 3s are 18, right? So 2, and this is x minus 6, x plus 3 greater than 0. Method of intervals. Minus 3 and plus 6. Minus 3 and plus 6. Correct? So positive, negative, positive. You can clearly see that your fx is positive. F dash x is positive in these two intervals, where this implies x belongs to minus infinity to minus 3 union 6 to infinity. This is the interval in which my function is strictly increasing. Minus infinity to minus 3 union 6 to infinity. Now tell me one thing. If the question was that find the interval that your function is not 8, ma'am, it's 6. Huh? Oops. Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Yes. 6x square. Then the whole question will be a different question. Okay, and the interval will also be different. Thank you. So 6 if you take common. This is x square minus x minus 6 greater than 0. So 6, this is x minus 3, x plus 2 greater than 0. And now if I just remove these two factors, this is your 3 and this is minus 2. So now your interval will be x belongs to minus infinity to minus 2 union 3 to infinity. Okay. Thank you MVK. Thank you Seema. All right. Okay, perfecto. Okay, this is the interval. Now we have another integration question for 3 marks. I think all of you will be able to do this substitution method. So in here, cos x you have to put as t, so that minus sin x dx will become dt. And also please do not forget to change the upper and lower limit. Tell me what is the upper limit. So if sin x you have put as t, sorry, cos x you have substituted as t now. So if x is 0, understand, if x is 0, then your cos x, cos 0. So t is going to be what? 1. If your x is pi by 2, then your t is cos pi by 2, that is 0. Correct? So t is equals to 0 t. So basically lower limit is 1, upper limit is 0. Now change it. Lower limit is 1, upper limit is 0. Sin x dx is going to be minus dt, and 1 plus cos square x, so 1 plus t square. Now using the property of definite integration, can you see 1 and 0 can be interchanged? But if you interchange 1 and 0, so 0 and 1, now flip, upper and lower limit got flipped, but this minus sign will be removed, or you can say one more minus sign will be applicable. This is tan inverse t, this is 0, this is 1. So tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. Okay, pi by 4. Correct or not? Correct? Yes. Okay. All right, clear. Now we are having another question. Form the differential equation of the family of curves by eliminating arbitrary constant. Very good question. Again, very easy question. Here, how many arbitrary constant you are able to see? So, ma'am, 2 arbitrary constant A and B. So, the moment you see this differential equation, you will be like, okay, I am going to differentiate this curve. How many times? 2 times. So, to get your differential equation, how many times you have to differentiate? 2 times you have to differentiate, otherwise nothing will work. So now differentiate it for the very first time quickly. Dy by dx is going to be equal to 3a e power 3x. Derivative plus. This is going to become minus 2b e power minus 2x. Okay, now d2y by dx square is equals to, now if you differentiate one more time, what are you going to get? 9a e power 3x minus 4, minus plus 4b e power 2x. Okay, clear? All right, perfect. Okay. 6 plus 3. Now you have to create a differential equation. How are you going to create a differential equation, right? Okay. Minus 2. Okay. d2y by dx square plus 9. Okay. So, okay. So this is how you are going to do it. d2y by dx square is going to give you 3 and minus 2, you can see na, right here. So 3 and minus 2. So you have to do something which will accommodate this. So 9 d2y by dx square, 9 plus 4. Okay. This is 3 minus 2 and this is a plus b, correct? So if you multiply this with 3, then okay, multiply this with 2, or what you can do is multiply this with 9. 9, then plus 9. Hold on, let me check. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's subtract. Okay, this is your equation number 1, this is your equation number 2. If I subtract equation number 1 minus 2, what are you going to get? Ma'am, d2y by dx square is equals to 9 minus 3, 6a power 3x, and this one is plus 6. Okay, can you see this? Can you see, if you subtract, you're going to get this. Okay, so d2y, you're subtracting. So subtracting means y double dash minus y dash is this. Can you see on the right hand side? Beautifully you can see. So this is y double dash minus y dash is equals to 6y. This is your differential equation. This is your differential equation. Differential equation. Okay, differential equation. Are you getting it? Are you understanding it? Okay, all right, perfect. Now we are having the next question. Prove that. Okay, prove that 2 tan inverse half plus tan inverse 1 by 7 is equals to tan inverse 30 1 by 17. Okay, first of all, a couple of formulas you should know, which is 2 tan inverse x, the very first formula. 2 tan inverse x is equals to tan inverse 2x upon 1 minus x square. First formula. Second formula is tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equals to tan inverse x plus y whole upon 1 minus xy. So these two formulas will help you in finding this answer, okay? So 2 tan inverse half, can anybody tell me? So ma'am, tan inverse, apply the formula. Tan inverse 2x, double of this, 2 into half, whole upon 1 minus x square, so 1 by 4. Correct. So tan inverse, this is going to become 1 upon 3 by 4, so 4 by 3. Okay ma'am, plus tan inverse 1 by 7 was as it is. Now apply the second formula. Tan inverse 4 by 3 plus tan inverse 1 by 7. So tan inverse 4 by 3 plus 1 by 7 x plus y whole upon 1 minus xy. Okay. So this is tan inverse. 7 3s are 21. 7 4s are 28 plus 3 is 31 upon 7 3s are 21 minus 4 is going to be 17. And this is again 21. 21 cancel out, and can you see, bingo, 31 upon 17 is, boom, your correct answer. Okay, all right, clear? Okay, all right. Now moving on to the next problem, which is this, from the world of vectors. Last problem of the day. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I am going to ping in the chat box, okay, that my part is done. Okay, so where is Karnataka? Karnataka, okay. Okay, perfect. Now we are having, show that the position vector of point P which divides the line segment joining. Okay, so can you see that there are 2 points? Basically the section formula is something which we need to prove. This is a good question, I will say. I will say the toughest question of today. Like not the tough, but in 3 marker question, this is slightly on the lengthier and thoughtful side. So what this question is saying that you have 2 points A and B. Line joining points A and B are there, and there is a point P, so position vector P. P divides the line joining A and B internally in the ratio m:n. Okay, and position vector, whenever the question is suggesting position vector, always remember there will be an origin O. Okay, so now this OA if you join, this OP if you join, OB if you join, so this is your A vector, this is your B vector, and this OP vector you have to assume it R vector. Okay, R vector, perfect. So A, B and P. Now understand what is given in the question. So what, first of all, given. Okay, remember we used to do this exercise in our previous class 9 and 10th grade, where we used to write what is given in the question, what is to prove that. So same format I'm going to solve, okay, using same. What is given? So given is that ratio is given, right? Ratio is given. So AP upon PB is equals to M upon N. This is what is given, correct? Now to prove that, क्या prove करना है? Prove that, show that position vector PV of P is equals to MB vector plus NA vector upon M plus N. This is what we have to prove. Now let's start writing the proof. Okay, so proof mein we have drawn the origin and all. Now how are we going to tackle it? Okay, so we'll use this AP. Okay, AP vector, can you see this AP? So AP vector is going to give you what? AP vector is upon PB vector is equals to M upon N. Can I just write AP is what? AP is nothing but OP vector minus OA vector. PB vector is what? B minus P. So OB vector minus OP vector. This is what M upon N is given. That is the first thing in proof. Okay. Now what we are going to do is OP vector is nothing but R vector. Okay, ma'am. OA vector is A. This is B minus R and this is M upon N. Cross multiply. Simple thing you have to do. Cross multiply. Isolate R vector and you are going to get done. So from here R vector N minus A vector N is equals to MB vector minus RM. Correct or not? Yes. So now see, I told you how to do this. Isolate R vector. So R vector M plus N is going to be MB vector plus AN vector, sorry, NA vector upon M plus N. Can you see R vector? So R vector is nothing but position vector of P, which is MB plus NA upon M plus N. Correct? As easy as possible. Now you will be getting, so this is what your solution will look like. Now if you are looking for PDF in description box, but not right away. PDF you will get after the session is done. Okay, so annotated PDF we are going to upload once the complete session is over. So now I'll be ending the stream and handing over to your physics. Okay, all right, clear. Please solve still more questions. Maz, we'll solve more questions tomorrow, 5-marker questions. So yesterday also we have taken a session. Day before yesterday also one session. So yes, mathematics mein you will see every day you are going to.
Question, right? You already done with mathematics. Now it's turn to physics. Just tell me once, is there audio and video proper, or is there any interruption? Then let me know in the chat box. Okay. Now I think it's clear. Okay. Fine. Just put a thumbs up in chat box. Then after we will start the session and discuss 3-marker question. You know, higher marks questions are more easier than the shorter questions, right? 3 marks questions are more easier than the 2-marker questions. Just because no too much tricky questions in 3-marker question. It's a long answer type question. You have to write 60 to 80 words in your answer, right? Okay. Okay, fine. Let's begin. Just put a thumbs up. Then after we will start the session. Hi Swajanya. Hi Mad Sani. Hello Ayman. Hello MVK. Hello everyone. Why? Fine. Can we start the session? Okay. Let's begin. See. Just wait. Something wrong with this app. So just wait. Yeah. Now. Okay. Got it. See. This is your first question. What it is? 2 cells of EMF 4 volt and 2 volt and terminal resistance 2 ohm and 1 ohm respectively are connected in parallel. So send the current in same direction through external resistance of 10 ohm. Find the potential difference across 10 ohm resistor. This is basically the question from combination of cells, right? This is the question from combination of cells, is it? Yeah. Let's see. Connected in parallel. See, these cells are connected in parallel and these are connected with external resistance R, which means this is 10 ohm, and internal resistance of this, that is 4 volt having 2 ohm, which is considered in series combination. Internal resistance is always considered in the series combination of the cell. Now, this is 2 volt and the internal resistance is 1 volt. Sorry, this is 1 ohm basically. Alright, this is 2 ohm. Got the question? Got the question? Okay, fine. Come to the answer. See, what it is, if I'm talking about R equivalent, this is 2 upon 3. If I'm talking about the internal resistance of parallel combination, that is R1, R2 upon R1 plus R2, which is 2 upon 3. Now, equivalent cells from the parallel combination, E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2. Now, total potential difference, or called EMF, is how much? 2 upon 1 plus 4 upon 2, that is 8 upon 3 volt. 8 upon 3 volt. Now, potential difference across 10 ohm resistor. That is R upon R plus R equivalent, R that means external resistance, and upon with total resistance into E equivalent. Just put the answer. 10 upon 10 plus 3, 10 plus 2 upon 3 into 8 upon 3, that is 2.5 volt. That is 2.5 volt. Got the answer? Okay. See. One more thing. These two are in parallel, and with this is in series combination, right? And this expression comes from parallel combination of the cells. Okay. Now moving to next. fill in the blanks by choosing appropriate answer given in the bracket for all of the following questions, right? What is a real power area of the loop n lambda? Okay, let's see what is the question. In Young's double slit experiment, the path difference for consecutive interference is equal to, for consecutive is equal to, I'm audible. Let me know once. I'm audible. Okay, fine. So, in Young's double slit experiment, the path difference for consecutive interference is equal to. For consecutive interference, it's n lambda. It's n lambda. Okay. Now, the power factor of AC circuit is given by the ratio of the apparent power. Power factor, it is basically real power to the apparent power. Alright, power factor, basically the formula of power factor is a real power upon apparent power. Real power upon apparent power. Okay. The magnetic dipole moment of current loop is given by the product of current and what it is? Area of loop. All right. Okay. Now moving to next question. Okay, these are the answers: lambda n, real power, and area of the loop. Now the third question, right? What it is? What is an equipotential surface? What will be the shape of equipotential surface corresponding to a single point charge? See, what is equipotential surface? Equipotential surface, that means the name, see the name. This is equi, which means equal, right? And potential, right? Equal potential of the surface, which means a surface where the value of potential is same. If I have a surface and value of potential, see, VA here, VB here, VC here, VD, and if I am talking about VA is equals to VB equals to VC equals to VD, then this is the equipotential surface. Well, work done in bringing a charge from one point to another is always zero. Work done is always zero in equipotential surface. Alright? Work done is always zero in equipotential surface just because there is no potential difference. Potential at each point on the surface is equal, then it is called equipotential surface. And what about the shape? See, if I am considering Q positive, then the shape is just like this. These are the directions of electric field intensity basically. These are the directions of electric field intensity. And see, if you consider any loop, if you are considering this loop, then this this circular loop, then at each point here, these are equidistances from the charge. Just V equals to KQ upon R. If Q is fixed, K is constant, then V is inversely proportional to R. If I am considering these points at the same radius or at the same circumference of the circle, then for each point the value of potential, the value of V will be same. That's why it's called equipotential surface, right? See, an equipotential surface is a surface in region of space where every point on surface has the same electric potential. This means no work required to move a charge from one point to another on an equipotential surface, because potential difference between any 2 points on the surface is 0. Mathematically, V is constant. And shape, that is V equals to KQ upon R, and the shape is just like this. Here, see, at each point you get equal potential. Here, different potential. But for all these potentials, it is the same value. Okay. Moving to next question. Is there any problem? Is there any problem? If there is no problem, then just let me know in the chat box, please. You guys are active? Yeah. If you guys active, then just let me know in the chat box. Okay. See, what is in this question is, see, 3 capacitors, each of capacitance 9 picofarad connected in series. What is the total capacitance of the recombination? See, this is 9 picofarad, all right? And if you want to consider total capacitance, then don't need to change the picofarad in farad, all right? See, for A, if 3 capacitors are connected in series, right? This is 1 upon C equivalent. C equivalent in series combination is basically 1 upon C equivalent, reciprocal of C1 plus reciprocal of C2 plus reciprocal of C3. That means 1 upon 9 plus 1 upon 9 plus 1 upon 9, which means 3 into 9, 1 upon 3, which means C equivalent is 3 picofarad. C equals to 3 picofarad. Okay. Okay. What is the potential difference across each capacitor if combination is connected to 120 volt? If we connect it to 120 volt, see, if I'm going to connect it 120 volt across this, then these are capacitors of 9 picofarad. This is also 9 picofarad. This is also 9 picofarad. This is 120 volt. Then you know voltage divided in across this V1, here V2, here V3, and as we all know, V1 plus V2 plus V3 must be 120 degree. Sorry, 120 volt. Okay, now you know C equals to Q upon V. C equals to Q upon V. That means V equals to Q upon C. V equals to Q upon C. What it is? C. Capacitance is C. Q is also constant, which means what? V1 is Q upon C1 plus Q upon C2 plus Q upon C3 is equals to 120. Here C1, C2 and C3 having the same value, which means 3Q upon, what is the value of C1, C2 and C3? That is 9 picofarad. 9 into 10 to the power minus 12. Just because it's a picofarad into 120. Then Q is equals to 120 into 9 into 10 to the power minus 12 upon 3. Upon 3. From here, you can calculate the value of Q, which is 360 into 3 times 360 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb. Now you have to calculate potential difference, that is V equals to Q upon C. Just put this value here, Q and C. Q is what? 360 into 10 to the power 12 and C is 9 into 10 to the power minus 12. Cancel out, this is 40. So here 40 volt, here also 40 volt, here also 40 volt. We have to calculate from formula, but if you use little bit of brain, then you know this is 120 volt. These are equal capacitors. Then just divide 120 divided by 3. Just because as we know that potential is divided into 3 parts with the ratio of the same as their capacitance. That means if the ratio is 1:1, potential is also divided into 1:1. That means 120 upon 40, 120 upon 3, 40 volt. Got my point or not? This is the traditional method from where we can calculate the exact value, but you can write this one also. Done it is? Okay. Now moving to next. State and explain Lenz's law of electromagnetic induction. What is basically Lenz's law? See, as per Faraday, if you this is south pole, this is north pole. These are magnetic flux. As per Faraday, it is if I'm changing the magnetic flux linked into the coil, then due to this change of magnetic field lines into the coil, there will be a EMF generated across the coil. And this EMF is basically equals to a rate of change of flux, d phi upon dt. And what exactly Lenz said? Lenz told that this is basically equals to negative of d phi upon dt. This negative sign shows the current induced in the coil in such a way so that they opposes their cause to produce it, right? That means negative sign, it opposes the change of cause, right? That means if you are taking north pole towards to this coil, the induced current in such a way, see, if north pole, if you wanted to create north pole at the loop of any conductor, then the direction of current is anti-clockwise. If create south pole, then it is clockwise. See, if north pole coming towards to this coil also behaves like a bar magnet due to induced current in this coil, and the coil is in such a way that it opposes their cause. That means here is also generating north pole and the current direction of current is anti-clockwise. But instead of this, if you are taking out this magnet from the coil, then what? Then see, then number of magnetic flux links, minimum number of magnetic flux links, north pole moving away from this pole so that this end of the coil behaves like a south pole and the direction is this time clockwise, so that they attract north pole towards to the coil. But if the magnet coming towards to the coil, it generated north pole and reflected. When they're repelled, then it behaves like a south pole and attracted. All right? Done? Fine. The polarity of induced EMF in such that it tends to produce a current in which opposes the change in magnetic flux that produces it. Lenz's law is accordance with the conservation of energy. First, when the north pole of a bar magnet is pushed towards to the closed coil, the current induced in the coil in such a direction that it opposes the increase in the flux. This opposes this possible only when current in the coil is counterclockwise direction. As we discussed earlier, if north pole coming closer to this coil, then the direction of induced current is anti-clockwise, that is counterclockwise. And second statement is what? Similarly, if north pole of the magnet is being withdrawn from the coil, the magnetic flux through the coil will decreases. The induced current in the coil flows clockwise direction so that it opposes the decrease in flux. See, if you taken out the north pole from the coil, This behaves like a south pole so that it attracts the north pole. This is basically Lenz's law. This is basically Lenz's law. Right. Then, next question. A battery of EMF 10 volt and internal resistance 30 is connected to a resistor. The current in the circuit is 0.5 ampere. What is the resistance of the resistor? What is the terminal voltage of the battery when the circuit is closed? Is it? Okay. Okay. Let's discuss. Ayappa, I think it's not possible for me, right? So let's understand in English only, right? See, what is given? A battery EMF that is E equals to 10 volt, all right? And what about internal resistance? That is 3 ohm basically, 30 ohm, 3 ohm basically. This is basically not, this is 30, this is 3 ohm, right? Fine. And what about I? Current is basically 0.5 ampere. 0.5 ampere. Then they want, what is the terminal voltage of the battery? They want V. V is basically E minus IR. You know, V is the terminal potential, which is EMF minus the potential difference. That means the current withdrawn from it. So let's calculate I first. Let's calculate I first. Then after we will calculate any value C. Then what is, if I is equals to E upon R plus R. This is EMF upon total resistance. Total resistance, that means internal resistance plus external resistance. That is, I is equals to EMF is 10 volt, R not given. So I basically given 0.5. Okay, so E basically 10 volt, R not given. This is 3. Now, if I'm considering R plus 3, which is equals to 10 upon 0.5, this decimal moves out. This is 20 basically. That means R is equals to 20 minus 3, that is 17 ohm. R is basically 17 ohm. Alright. Now, this is terminal voltage. Just calculate. V equals to 10 minus I, that is 0.5 into 3. That is 10 minus 15, that means 1.5. Is it? That means V is equals to 8.5 volt. V equals to 8.5 volt. Works? Okay. Done? Done. Okay. Okay, fine. Now moving to next question. Just put a thumbs up. Put a thumbs up. And after we will move to next question. Okay, let's begin the show. Right. What it is? See. A horizontal straight wire 10 meter long extending from east to west is falling with a speed of 5 meter per second at the right angle to the horizontal component of the earth. Magnetic field 0.3 into 10 to the power 4 Weber square meter. Alright. What is the instantaneous value of EMF induced? What is the direction of EMF and which end of the wire is at higher electrical potential? Right? Can you start from first? See. Here, length of the wire is 10 meter. 10 meter. Velocity of the wire is kept a small v, right? 5 meter per second. All right. Horizontal component, that is BH. BH is horizontal component, right? Horizontal component, basically, horizontal component 0.30 into 10 to the power 4. 0.30 into 10 to the power 4 Weber per square. Weber square meter. Done? Weber per square. I think put negative. Done? Now, just calculate one by one. First, A. What is the instantaneous EMF? What is the instantaneous EMF? Right? So, EMF is equals to, as we know, BLV. What is BLV? B is what? Is 0.30 into 10 to the power 4. L is what? 10. V is what? 5. This is basically 15.15 into 10 to the power 5. This is basically EMF. This is basically EMF. It's done. It's done. It's given, just wait. This is also negative of 4. This is also negative of 4. Now, this is negative of 4. Now, this is basically negative 3. 10 to the power minus 3. 10 to the power minus 3. Now, what is the direction of the EMF? B. Question B. Direction of the EMF. Then direction of the EMF is the west to east. Direction of the EMF is west to east, right? It will be decided on the basis of the higher potential and lower potential. Higher potential at west and lower potential at east. Now see, which end of the wire is at higher electric potential? Eastern. Eastern wire at higher potential. Eastern wire at a higher potential. Okay. Now, moving to next question. Okay. Okay, moving to next. See, what it is, use Lenz's law to determine the direction of induced current in the situations describing the figure. First, a wire of irregular shape turning into a circular. This is the irregular shape, then after turning into circular. If, see, in irregular shape, there is minimum number of field lines entering or passing through their cross-section area. If you considered as a circular loop, there is an increase in magnetic field lines. If increase in magnetic field lines, then induced current flowing in this coil in such a way that they opposes the change in magnetic flux, which means, see, if this irregular, this is an irregular wire, turns into a circular loop. Now, as you can see, these are points, dots, which means magnetic field lines are outside. Then induce current in such a way that magnetic field produces inside the paper. And when it is possible? It is possible only when, if the induced current is clockwise direction. Due to this induced current, induced magnetic flux in this loop which opposes the pre-existence of the dots. This is basically Lenz's. See, when a wire irregular shape turns into a circular loop of magnetic flux linked with the loop increases due to increase in area. In irregular shape, there is a smaller area. In regular shape, there is increase in area, so that magnetic field lines also gets increases. The irregular shape, the induced EMF will cause current to flow in such a direction so that wire forming the loop is pulled inward from the side. It requires that the current should flow. Next, a circular loop being deformed into a narrow straight wire. If circular loop turned into a narrow straight wire, as you know, a straight wire having no area of cross section, so that by applying Lenz's law, it flows that the current will flow in the direction of A, B, C, D, B, A. See, A, B, C, D, B, A. A, B, C, D, B, A. Right? If, see, let's eliminate this. Now, this is a wire, this is a wire, this is a wire. This is a wire. This is a wire. Then the direction of current is what? A, B, C, D, B, A. A, B, C, D, B, A. Right? Okay. Write a short note on TIR. Write a short note on TIR. TIR is what? It's a total internal reflection. It's a total internal reflection. See. What is the condition basically? This is a refracting surface. If this is denser and this is rarer. I'm just drawing a normal. A beam of light falling on the surface of this. Here is a refraction of light. Just because from denser to rarer, light gets away from the normal. This light gets away from the normal. If I'm increasing the angle of incidence, angle of refraction will also get increased. Now, if I'm considering this is the angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. For minimum angle of incidence for which angle of refraction becomes 90 degree, then this angle of incidence is called critical angle. This angle of incidence is called critical angle. And if you move beyond the critical angle, if you increase the, see, if angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, then refraction becomes reflection. This light beams moving in the same direction, right? Light coming from denser medium, after refraction moving to denser medium itself, so that here is refraction becomes reflection. This is called total internal reflection. There's two most important condition. See, condition for TIR. Condition for TIR. What it is? Light always moves from denser to rarer. And second is what? Angle of incidence, that is IC, angle of incidence must be greater than IC, which is critical angle. If angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, then refraction becomes reflection. That is called total internal reflection. And what is the use of this? Anyone can tell me? What is the use of this? Where we use TIR in daily life? Anyone use? Just tell me, anyone use in daily life? Anyone? Anyone can explain? One use in daily life. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Just wake up. Wake up. Okay. I'll give you a time. Just tell me. Just because my laptop wants to sleep. So Okay, fine, fine. This is used in your fiber cable connections, fiber internet connection. This is used, right? There is a waveguide basically that is transparent wire, and we transfer the signals at the angle of TAR. See, when a ray of light travels from a denser medium to rarer medium such that the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, the ray is totally reflected back into the denser medium. This phenomena is called total internal reflection. This phenomena is called total internal reflection. Okay. Now, question number 10. A series LCR circuit R equals to 20 ohm, L equals to 1.5 Henry, C equals to 30 microfarad is connected to a variable frequency of 200 volt AC supply. When the frequency of the supply equals to the natural frequency of the circuit, what is the average power transfer to the circuit in one complete cycle? What is the average power transfer in one complete cycle? See, if you have any numerical, just write down the given data. L is equals to 1.5 Henry. C is equals to 35 microfarad. That means 35 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad. Okay. And what about R? R is basically 20. R is basically 20. And E supply is 200 volt. Right? Right? Okay. Okay. Then it is ES upon R. What it is? I average is ES upon R. ES, which means 200, upon R, that means 20. That means 20. This is 20. No. It's 10 basically. It's 10. It's 10. 10 ampere. This is 10 ampere. Right? This is 10. Now, P is equals to E into I. P equals to E into I. I, which means average I. IV. E into I. E, which is 200 into 10. 200 into 10. That means what? 2000 watt. Power is basically VI. Instead of V, we have E into I. Right? That means power consumption is equals to 2000 watt. Or you can say P is equals to 2 kilowatt. This is 2 kilowatt. 2000 watt or 2 kilowatt. Okay, done. Okay, that's done. Done. Now, moving to next question. Moving to next. Right. Two lenses of power plus 15 diopter and minus 5 diopter are contact with each other, forming a combination of lens. What is the focal length of the combination? Second part, an object of size 3 cm is placed at the 30 cm from the combination of the lens. Calculate the position and the size of the image form. Let's firstly 15 diopter and minus 5 diopter connected, right? So power equals to P1 plus P2, which means this is 15 minus 5, which is 10 diopter. What it is? It's 10 diopter. Alright, 10 diopter, that means focal length is what? I think A salt. Now B. What is the focal length? Focal length is equals to 1 upon P. That means 1 upon 10. You can, if you want, then calculate in centimeter. That means it's 100 upon 10. That is 10 centimeter. Focus is 10 centimeter. Now, if you have focal length 10 centimeter, right? Object placed, U is 30 centimeter. And size of object, that means height of object is 3 centimeter, right? Calculate the position and size of the image formed. This is basically negative, and this is positive. That means this lens behaves like a convex lens. This lens behaves like, just because focus is positive, right? So just using lens form, what it is, 1 upon f, which is equals to 1 upon v minus of 1 upon v. In lens formula, it's minus of 1 upon v, right? Now 1 upon f plus 1 upon u, which is equals to 1 upon v. 1 upon f is what? 1 upon 10. This is 1 upon 10 plus 1 upon u, that means negative of, can you put directly negative of 1 upon 30, that is equals to 1 upon v. Now LCM is 33 minus 1, which is equals to 1 upon v, which is 2 upon 30, that is 1 upon 50, which means v equals to 15 centimeter. And this is positive. This is positive. That means image formed is real, inverted, and diminished. And diminished. You have to calculate. We have to calculate size also. So let's calculate size. See, magnification is equals to v upon u, which is equals to height of image upon my height of object. That is, v is what? V is what? V is what? It's a 15. U is what? Negative of 30. What about height of image? We have to calculate. Height of object is 30. Sorry, height of image upon 3. This is 10 times, right? This is 1.4. Height of image is 1.5 centimeter. Height of image is 1.5 centimeter and basically negative of 1.5 centimeter. Basically negative of 1.5 centimeter. Is it or not? Is it or not? Anyone having any doubt, then just let me know. Anyone having any doubt, then let me know in the chat box. Okay, great. Let's moving towards question number, this is the solution of this question. Let's moving towards question number 12. Moving towards question number 12. Right? See, what it is, the work function of a cesium metal is 2.14 electron volt when light of frequency 6 into 10 to the power 14 hertz is incident on the metal surface. Photo emission of electrons occurs. What is maximum kinetic energy of the emitted electrons, stopping potential, and the maximum speed of the emitted photoelectrons? Right? 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 Done. Okay, let's calculate. Firstly, we have the values, that is work function, that is W 2.14 electron volt. Okay, 2.14 electron volt. If I'm converting into joule, that is 2.14 into electron volt, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. This is now turns into joule. Now, maximum kinetic energy, A option, maximum kinetic energy, that is half mv max square, which is equals to h nu minus work function, h nu minus work function, right? Right? What is h nu? H is basically Planck's constant, that is 6.62 into 10 to the power minus 34. Okay. Into, what about nu? Frequency 6 into here, see, frequency nu given 6 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. This is frequency, right? Then it is 6 into 10 to the power 14 hertz. Now minus work function. Work function is 2.14 into 2.14 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. All right? All right. Okay. Half mv max square, that is kinetic energy max, right? This is kinetic energy max. Now, you have to calculate this. You have to calculate this and answer. See, I have answer also. See, this is 0.343 electron volt. This is 0.343 electron volt. This is the final answer in joule, and divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, then it's converted into electron volt. Is it? I'm just leaving the calculation portion for yours. Now, moving to next, stopping potential. Stopping potential is the same as the maximum kinetic energy, right? This is same as the maximum kinetic energy, which is V0 is 0.343. Maximum kinetic energy is in electron volt. So, 0.343. And the third one, maximum speed of the emitted photoelectrons. What we have to calculate? Maximum speed. Maximum speed. That is V. From S, you can calculate, see, half mv square. Let's write on this next page. See, half mv max square, which is equals to 0.434. 0.343. Now, if you want to calculate V max, that is equals to 0.343 into 2 upon m. M is what? Mass of electron. M is what? Mass of 0.343 into 2 upon mass of photon, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. And if I'm considering this is V max, that means this is under root of this, which is 3.47 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second. 3.47 into 10 to the power 5 meter per second. Okay? Okay, fine. Anyone having any problem? Just let me know. Just let me know. If anyone having any problem, then just let me know. Otherwise, moving to next question. Moving to next. Moving to next. Just let me know in the chat box. Moving to next. Is there any problem till this question? Till this question, if you have any problem. Okay, now we're moving to question number 13. That is, so that the wavelength of electromagnetic radiation is equal to the de Broglie wavelength of its quantum, or it's called photon, right? That is, H lambda is equals to C upon nu, right? Or you can say Hc upon H nu. Can you written as this? Hc upon H nu. Okay, which is H upon H nu upon C. H nu upon C. Is it? Since as we know that H nu upon C is P. H nu upon C is P. P is what? It's a moment. P is what? It's momentum. Right? Now, can I written this H upon P? That means what? Lambda is equals to H upon P. As they asked. Lambda is equals to H upon P. Is it? See. Lambda is equals to H upon P. Hence, the wavelength of electromagnetic radiation is equal to the de Broglie wavelength associated with this quantum. Right? Lambda equals to H upon P. Okay. Now, moving to next question number 14. What it is? Which circuit diagram explain how can a galvanometer to be converted into ammeter? If you wanted to convert galvanometer in ammeter, right? Galvanometer in ammeter, then just skipping shunt resistance in parallel, right? Shunt resistance in parallel. See, galvanometer is converted into ammeter by conducting simultaneously low resistance, that is shunt resistance, parallel to the galvanometer. This is a galvanometer. See, this is the galvanometer, and keeping a shunt resistance parallel with this. This is shunt resistance, right? And what is the value of this shunt resistance? This is having low resistance, so that maximum current withdrawn from the shunt resistance, okay. Now consider galvanometer of the G connected into the shunt resistance S in the following figure. Let I minus Ig, this is I minus Ig from shunt, and Iz current from galvanometer. Then, as you know, potential difference across this galvanometer and potential difference across this shunt resistance will be same. That means Vg is equals to Vs. V equals to IR. If I am considering Iz current from galvanometer and G is the resistance of the galvanometer, then I into Iz, V equals to IR. And what about Vs? That is, if I am considering I minus Iz current from the shunt, then this is I minus Ig, and S is the shunt resistance. Then what about S? S is equals to Iz upon I minus Ig times of G. This is the value of shunt resistance which is using in parallel to the galvanometer to convert galvanometer in ammeter. Now this galvanometer behaves like a ammeter. Okay. Moving to next. What it is? See. Alright, the truth table of the circuit given in the figure below consisting of NOR gates and identified logic operation OR and NOT with circuit performing. Okay, let's see. There is a two input A and B. Just skipping two inputs A and B. We have four combinations 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1, 0, 1. Is it? Now, see, this is NOR gate. See, if I'm considering here, this is A plus B bar. Just move step by step. Firstly, we have to calculate A plus B. If any one input is high, then output is high, right? Or you can say if both input is low, then output is low only. 0, 0, this is 0. Otherwise, these all are 1. But we have to calculate A plus B bar. Then what it is? It is 1, 0, 0, 1. Sorry. 1, 0, 0, 0. Invert. Now, this only given to this and again this NOR. That means A plus B bar whole bar. If you consider double bar, that means it is equal to A plus B. If you have Y equals to A plus B, then it shows that it's a OR gate only. Now see the truth table. Truth table is what? This is 0, 1, 1, 1. If both the input low, then output is low. It's called OR gate. It behaves like a OR gate. Is there any problem? Hopefully it's not. Okay. Can we move next question? Right. See, what is next? This is OR gate, right? State and explain Huygens principle. Huygens principle basically for the wavefronts. It's for wavefront where as per Huygens, see, each point on wavefront is the source of secondary disturbance and the secondary wavelet. Previous wavefront is the source of secondary wave. That means each point on wavefront is source of secondary disturbance or secondary wavelet. Okay. Orienting from these points is spread out in all direction with the space of the wave. Second, the new wavefront at any later time is obtained by the taking tangential surface in the forward direction of the sphere. See, if I'm considering this tangential path and completing this new wavefront, then you will get the new wavefront. This is basically second point, right? Is there any problem? Is there any problem with Heisenberg's principle? Now, for an amplitude modulated wave, the maximum amplitude found to be 10 volt, while the minimum amplitude is found to be 2 volt. V max is 10 volt, V mean is basically 2 volt. Determine the modulation index, mu is what? What would be the value of P in the minimum amplitude is 0 volt, right? Right? See, first we have to calculate modulating index mu. This is V max, or you can write E max, E mean also. V max minus V mean upon V max up plus V mean, right? Right? That means what? This is 10 minus 2 upon 10 plus 2. This is 8 upon 12. This is 8 upon 12. This is 0.67. 0.67. This is the modulating index. This is the modulating index. Secondary part, what would be the value of P power if the minimum amplitude is 0 volt? This is A basically. If I'm considering B, where V max is 10 volt and V mean is what? Is 0 volt. V max is 10 and V mean is 0. That means if I'm considering mu here, then it is 10 minus 0 upon 10 plus 0, which means it's 1. Modulation index is 1. Done. Done. Okay. Okay. Now, next question. Next question. What it is? See, the normal activity of living carbon containing matter is found to be 15 decays per minute for every gram of carbon. This activity arises from the small proportion of radiation of C614 present with the stable carbon isotope of C612. Okay, when the organism is dead, its interaction with the atmosphere, that is which maintains the above equilibrium activity, cases and its activity begins to drop from no half-life, that is 5730 years of C614, and the major activity, the age of the specimen can be approximately estimated. This is the principle of C614 dating used in agriculture. Actually, ये कार्बन डेटिंग का एक एग्जांपल है, आपने बहुत बार सुना. You know carbon dating. You know carbon dating. It's a experiment to understand the life of the specimen. All right. Now, suppose a specimen from Mohenjo-daro gives an activity of 9 decays per minute per gram of carbon. Estimate the approximate age of the Indus Valley civilization. Right? Just feel the history of your class 10th. Right? Now, see, decay rate is 15 decay per minute. R is what? It's 15 decay per minute. Now, N be the number of radioactive atoms present. Half-life of carbon is T equals to 5730 years, it's given. Decay rate of a specimen is R equals to 9 decay per minute. Let N dash will be the number of radioactive present in a specimen. Then what? N upon N dash equals to R upon R dash equals to E raised to the power lambda T. This is basically E raised to the power lambda T, negative of lambda T. Now just put T is equals to 0.5108, right, upon lambda, or lambda equals to 0.693 upon T. That means T is 4223.5 years. 4223.5 years. Okay. 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 This is the life. Now, moving to next. Derive an expression for the electric field due to an infinitely long straight charge wire using Gauss law. Using Gauss law, we have to identify, electric field due to infinitely long straight charge wire. See, you have a wire, infinitely long. Then these are the charges spread over the conductor. Suppose a Gaussian surface always treating symmetrical. This is a Gaussian surface, right? This is the Gaussian surface. Now considering, see, if I'm considering here electric field intensity in this way, this is ds1, and electric field intensity in this way. If I'm on this surface, then this is called ds2, area vector, and electric field intensity always away from the wire. I'm considering another integral surface, that is ds3, which is in the same direction of electric field intensity. Is it? That means flux emerges out. Here, d phi is equals to E ds cos theta, right? Now, how much flux from this surface? Just considering d phi 1. Okay, d phi 1 is how much? E ds cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. See, here is the angle between ds and electric field intensity, E is 90, that means it's 0. Similarly, if I'm talking about flux emerges out from this surface, bottom surface, then again the angle between E and ds2 is 90, then it is E ds cos 90, which means it's also 0. The only flux emerges out from the lateral surface area. Just consider this is a Gaussian surface, then magnetic flux emerges out from here, 0, from bottom, 0. Only magnetic flux, electric flux basically, electric flux emerges out from the curved surface area or lateral surface area. That is a half d phi 3, that is E ds cos 0. Cos 0 is 1, then E ds, this is d phi 3. Taking integration both sides, this is phi 3, which is equals to E. Integration of ds, this is closed integration, that is 2 pi rl. This is 2 pi rl. Just consider the radius is r and the length of the wire is l. Then it is 2 pi rl, which means E is equals to phi upon 3 upon 2 pi rl. And as per Gauss theorem, you know, flux emerges out, phi is equals to 1 upon epsilon naught times of total charge present inside the vessel. What about the line charge integration? Line charge integration, that is lambda equals to Q upon L, charge per unit length, then Q is equals to lambda L. Just put it, phi is equals to 1 upon epsilon naught at the place of Q, that is lambda L, right? Now equating Now equating these two. This is equation first, this is equation second. Just equating these two. What do you get? This is flux. You can also written as phi 3 as phi. Just because phi 1, phi 2 is 0, that means total flux is this one only. If comparing both, E into 2 pi RL is equals to 1 upon epsilon naught times of lambda L. L cancel out. That is E is equals to 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught lambda upon R. Lambda upon R. Hi Manish. I hope you get the answer. Okay? It's okay? It's okay? It's okay? Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Let's moving towards question number 20. This is the derivation. I already solved it. Right. Derive the expression for the de Broglie wavelength of an electron accelerated through a potential difference V. Right. That is basically kinetic energy of electron is given by EV, that is electron volt. Right. And P is equals to, as you know, P equals to 2m under root of kinetic energy. Right. You can also written P is equals to 2m EV. This is de Broglie wavelength and electron acceleration. This is the relation. See, kinetic energy, the kinetic energy K equals to EV, where E is the charge on one electron. Momentum P equals to under root of 2m EV. Now, moving forward, lambda equals to H upon P. P is equals to under root of 2m EV. Now, lambda is equals to H upon under root of 2m EV. This is the de Broglie wavelength of an electron accelerated through a potential difference of V. Is it? Okay. Okay, fine. This is also a simple question, right? And in 3 marks question, we already discussed direct questions arises, formula based questions, right? Okay. Now, the focal length of a thin lens in vacuum is F. If the material of the lens has mu equals to 3 upon 2, mu is just, this is the refractive index, is 3 upon 2. Its focal length when immersed in water, a refractive index 4 upon 3. This is mu 1, this is mu 2, basically 4 upon 3. This time it's F, then what is the value of F dash? This time F, then what is the value of F dash? Right? Okay. Can we consider this okay, F dash instead of, for no confusion, this is F air and this is F water, right? See, as we know that from lens formula, lens maker formula, 1 upon F, which is equals to mu g upon mu a minus 1 into 1 upon R1 minus R2. 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. This is lens maker formula. This is lens maker formula. Similarly, this is for F air. If I am considering F water, then this is again what it is? Fg upon Fw, mu z upon mu w minus 1 into 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Right? Lens in air, lens in water. All right. All right. All right. All right. Now, this is equation number first, this is equation number second. Just divide equation first by equation second. I'm not going to write, this term cancel out each other. right? Only the thing is 1 upon FA, that means 1 upon FW moving upward, 1 upon FW upon FA. Is it? Now, this term, mu z upon, right? This term, just taking LCM, right? That is mu z upon mu z minus 1. Here mu z upon mu w minus 1. Is it? Now putting all these values, mu z basically 3 upon 2 minus 1 upon mu z, again it's 3 upon 2 whole upon 4 upon 3 minus 1. Is it? Just calculate. This is the value of 4. Now, FW is equals to 4 times of FA. FW is equals to 4 times of FA. Just tell me, it's okay? It's okay with everyone? It's okay? It's okay? Okay. Can you put a thumbs up in chat box? Can you put thumbs up in chat box? Let me know you are live. Okay, let's moving to the next question. Okay. State and explain Gauss theorem in electrostatics. State and explain Gauss theorem in electrostatics. See, Gauss theorem. As per Gauss theorem, if you have a charge Q, then consider a Gaussian theorem, then consider a Gaussian surface around it, which is symmetrical, right? And if I'm considering a small surface which is ds vector, then electric field intensity comes out from here, it's E. Then as per Gauss, the total flux emerges out from any Gaussian surface is 1 upon epsilon naught times of total charge enclosed. Total charge enclosed, right? That means phi is equals to 1 upon epsilon naught times of Q. This is the statement of Gauss theorem. Now we have to prove it. All right, see. Oh. What it is? Okay, let's draw. Prove, right? See, this is the Gaussian surface, this is charge Q positive, this is a integral surface ds vector, and this is electric field intensity E vector. All right, consider this angle is omega, this angle is called d omega, is it? And the radius of the Gaussian surface is r. Then as we know that E equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. Now, flux from the surface ds, that is d phi vector is equals to E ds cos theta. What it is? E ds cos theta. Alright. Now, d phi is equals to, if I am considering this, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square ds cos theta. Basically, ds cos theta upon R square, ds cos theta upon R square is called solid angle. This is called solid angle. Unit is steradian, right? This is supplementary units, right? Now, ds cos theta upon R square is considered as d omega. Just put it, d phi, which is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q times of d omega. Just taking close integration both sides. Just close integration. Integration of d phi is phi. Here, constant term 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q moving outward. This is d omega only. And if you integrate this d omega for a sphere, see, integration of d omega for a sphere, it is equals to 4 pi. It is equals to 4 pi. Now, from here, phi, which is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught times of Q into d omega. Instead of d omega, you can put 4 pi. Now, 4 pi cancel out. That means this is 1 upon epsilon naught times of Q. This is the proof of Gauss theorem. Right. Hello, Manikanta. Bio complete, sir. Yes. I think yes. Order of subjects are same. Right? Orders of subjects were same. Right. Hi Devappa. Hello. Okay. Now, okay with this Gauss theorem? Okay, it's fine. Let's see. The total flux through any closed surface is 1 upon epsilon naught times of the total charge enclosed by the surface. If Q is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, then the electric flux through the surface is phi equals to 1 upon epsilon naught times of Q. And we derived it also, right? Give any three differences between P-type and N-type semiconductor. Is this a question? Right? It's a very simple question, right? P-type, N-type. P-type having majority charge carriers is holes. And in N-type semiconductor, majority charge carriers is electrons, right? See, semiconductor doped with trivalent impurities, semiconductor doped with pentavalent impurities, right? Holes are the majority charge carriers in P-type and the electrons are the majority charge carriers in N-type. Electrons are minority charge carriers. Here, holes are minority charge carriers. Impurity atom is called acceptor impurity, like indium, aluminium, boron, gallium. Where impurity atom is called donor impurity, that is phosphorus, bismuth, antimony. Just because they have pentavalent type. Valence is 5. Here valence is 3, trivalent. Right. Electrical conductivity is relative less. Electrical conductivity is relatively more. In N-type semiconductor, conductivity is more. P-type, conductivity is less. Okay. Now, moving to next. Okay. A tank is filled with water to a height of 12.5 centimeter. The apparent depth of needling at the bottom of the tank is measured by microscope to be 9.5 centimeter. What is the refractive index of water? If water is replaced by a liquid of refractive index 1.63 up to the same height, by what distance would the microscope have to move to focus the needle again? I hope you got the question You understand the question? Now moving to answer. Right? If you want, then I give hint first. That is mu equals to apparent depth upon real depth. Real depth upon apparent depth. Is it? That is real depth, that is 12.5. Real depth is 12.5, right? And what is about apparent depth? It is 9.4. It is 9.4. Can I remove this negative? This is 1.33 basically. 1.33. Now, water tank is filled with liquid. Water tank filled with, see, water tank filled with liquid, right? Up to water tank filled with the okay, by the same height, that means this is 12.5 also. But now refractive index mu is 1.63. Can I use this formula once again? This time mu is 1.63, real depth is given 12.5, and you have to find apparent depth. Apparent depth, that means, can you written as this is term as D. D is what? This is 12.5 upon 1.63. 12.5 upon 1.63. That means approximately it's 7.67 in centimeter. Just because this is in centimeter, 9.4 is in centimeter, that's why it's centimeter. Right? Done. Okay. So, therefore, objective and eyepiece should be placed at 11.67 centimeter apart from the object at a distance of 1.5 centimeter from the objective lens. Is it? Okay. Now, moving question number 25th. Moving towards question number 25th. What it is? State two reasons why a galvanometer cannot be used such to measure current in given circuit, or can a galvanometer as such be used for measuring the current? Explain. See, galvanometer is used for measuring current. That means galvanometer can be converted into a ammeter by using a shunt resistance in parallel with the low resistance of the shunt. But why not it's so common? Just because galvanometer is more sensitive. That's why it get deflected for minimum change in current. Deflection is maximum, right? What I mean, this means, see, a galvanometer cannot be used such as measure current following two reasons. Galvanometer has finite large resistance and connected in series in the circuit, so it will increase the resistance of the circuit, hence change the value of current in the circuit. Second, a galvanometer is a very sensitive device, gives a full scale deflection for the current of the order of microamperes, hence if connected as such will not measure current of the order of ampere. If you change the current in microampere, there will be a large deflection in galvanometer. So if you are using for the ampere, needle will be broken. Alright? Just because they have too much deflections. That's why they are not using so commonly. Okay. Moving to next. In input resistance of transistor 1000 ohm, On changing its base current by 10 microampere, the collector current increases by 2 milliampere. If a load resistance of 5 kilo ohm is used in the circuit, calculate current gain and voltage gain. You have to calculate current gain and voltage gain, right? Current gain and voltage. Anyone can solve it. Anyone can solve it. See, this is basically beta. I think it's not clear, so let me solve. Base current, that is equals to del IC upon IB, del IB, right? This is 2 into, this is 2 milliampere, 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Upon the load resistance is 5 kilo ohm. Load resistance is 5 kilo ohm, right? So this is 10 into 10 to the power minus 6. 10 into 10 to the power minus 6. Just because, see, this is 10 in 10 microampere. So 10 into 10 to the power minus 6. Is it? Which means this is 200. This is 200. This is current gain, right? Now voltage gain. We have to calculate voltage gain, right? Voltage gain is basically beta BC, right, into R external upon RB. Now, this is 200 into 5 kilo, 5 into 10 to the power 3 upon, this is 1000. This cancel out, 5, this is 1000. This is 1000. Alright? This is 1000. Okay. Right? Right? Okay. Moving to next. Careful measurement of the electric field at the surface of the black box indicates that the outflux through 8 into 10 to the power 3 nanometer square per coulomb. What is the net charge? If the net outflowed the flux, right? See, what is the net charge? As per Gauss theorem, phi is equals to 1 upon epsilon naught times of Q, alright? 1 upon epsilon naught times of Q. Q which means epsilon naught times of flux, that is 0.07 microcoulomb. If the net outward flux through the surface of the box is 0, it cannot be conducted that there are no charge inside the box. There may be equal to amount of positive and negative charges inside the box. Therefore, if net outward flux is 0, we cannot conclude that the charge inside the box is 0. One can only say that net charge inside the box is 0. Is it? Is it? Okay. Is it? Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. So, we were discussing 3 marker questions in this session, and in upcoming session we will going to discuss 4 marker questions and 5 marker questions. So we'll meet in another session. Till that, you can download the session PDF from the link given below in the description box. We'll meet in next session. Till then, bye bye. Take care, everyone.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Karnataka KCT and Boards. I'm Diksha Kaushal, your chemistry master teacher. So, students, the problem is that I have another session lined up at 9 p.m., right? So, what I'll do now, right, because that session also I need to take, this also I need to take. So, what I'll do now, these 3 marks questions, I'll provide you with the PDF here, right? 4-5 questions we can solve within 10 minutes. After that, I'll end the class and you can solve that yourself. If you have any problem, then you can always ask me in tomorrow's session, right? I'll provide you with the PDF here, and the PDF you will get in the description box over here. Okay, so let's quickly, within 10 minutes, let's finish. Our target is 8:55, right? So let's finish as many as questions as possible in these 8 minutes. Okay, so let's see our speed now. So the first question, guys, I'll just show you here the questions and how do you need to answer them. Write the balanced chemical equation in the manufacture of potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 from chromitore, right? So this session is basically given in your this particular step 1, step 2, step 3, where from this ore, right, chromitore, you have the formation of Na2Cr4, right? From there you have the formation of Na2, that is sodium dichromate. This is chromate, this is sodium dichromate, and this is potassium dichromate. Okay, so these are the 3 steps of preparation of potassium dichromate, right? You can also learn the steps for KMNO4, that is potassium permanganate. Okay, both these things are very important for your PU board exams. Next question is the reason transitional metals and the compounds are known for their good catalytic property, right? Then between Sc3 positive and this, which ion is colorless? So remember, colorless means which color will be shown when there is DD transition. Okay, so let's see which will not show any DD transition here. So basically, if you talk about Sc3 positive, Sc is what? Sc is 21, that is 4s1 3d10. Okay, now here what will happen if you lose no, not 3d10, it will be 4s2 3d1. Okay, so here if it loses 3 electrons, it will be 4s0 3d0. That means there is no electron in d orbital. So if there is no electron in d orbital, if it is half filled or fully filled, then it will be colorless. That's why Sc3 positive is colorless in nature, right? If you talk about Cu2 positive, copper is having 29, that is 4s1 3d10. If it loses 2 electrons here, it will be 4s0 3d9. So definitely it is not 0 electrons, or it is not fully filled electron, so it will show DD transition, hence it will have a color, right? Okay, next is VBT from valence bond theory. This is valence bond theory. Explain geometry hybridization of COF6 negative. Now guys, we know that this is x minus x is equals to minus 3, x is equals to plus 3. After finding the oxidation state, cobalt is 27, so that is 4s2 3d7, ma'am, right? So take out 3 electrons here, it will be 3d6. Ma'am, after that what we have to do? There is no pairing because F is a weak field ligand, hence it will be, this is 1, 2, 3. I'll just show you the diagram directly here to save the time, right? So here it is 3d6 electrons that will have no pairing here. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you will be left with sp3d2. So answer is going to be sp3d2. Answer is going to be sp3d2, right? That is the correct answer, right? Next is, this is a numerical. So numerical are also direct formula based numericals here. 1 gram of non-electrolyte, that means beta this is your solute, that is W2 is given to you, dissolved in this much of benzene, this is W1. Lowered the freezing point by this, that means this they are saying is delta TF. The freezing point depression constant, that is Kf, is given to you, right? Find the molar mass. Now bacha, we know that this is our formula, that is delta TF is equals to molality into Kf. What is molality? Molality is W2. Molality is W2 by M2 into W1 multiplied by 1000 into Kf. Okay? Multiplied by 1000 into Kf. So as you can see here, This thing is given to you. This is what they have asked. This is given, this is given, this is given, this is given, this is given. So you can easily calculate the value of M2 here. Next is beta, they are asking you, next is, they are asking you define want Hall factor, give the value of I for complete dimerization. Whenever there is dimerization, I will be equals to 2 here. So first is write down the definition here. Definition is want Hall factor is defined as ratio of experimental value. Right, these are the formulas. I'll provide you with the PDF. You can directly see that because the time is very less. Right, so for dimerization, I will be equals to 2 here. Right, okay. Next is calculate the EMF of E0 cell, which of the following reaction will take place. Okay. So listen guys, if you talk about the E cell value, that is equals to E0 cell minus 0.059 divided by N. N is the number of electrons. So you can see here number of 2 electrons are lost. Here 2 electrons are gained. So N is equals to 2. Right, this is log of oxidation by reduction, that is product by reactant. Product is magnesium, so Mg2 positive, and reactant is Ag raised to power 2 because stoichiometry is 2 here. Right, so directly we will fill the concentration powers also here. Here concentration is this, here concentration is 0.130. Put the values here and you will get your answer. Right, okay, understood? That is done. Next is state Corlosh law of independent migration. Mention one application of it. Now, bacha, this is the formula Nernst equation. Directly I told you how to apply. Next is, okay, Corlosh law at infinite dilution. Infinite dilution, the molar conductivity is equals to the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of individual ions. Right, okay, so directly this is the formula. Application is to calculate the molar conductivity, degree of dissociation or dissociation constant. Degree of dissociation is molar conductivity at C concentration by molar conductivity at infinite, and dissociation constant is C alpha square. Okay, so that's how you can calculate degree of dissociation and dissociation constant. Next, students, we have the derivation here, everybody. Derive integrated rate law for constant zero order reaction. So how the derivation and the graph of potential energy. So this is the derivation. Directly we know that for zero order reaction, there is no dependence on the initial reactant. So dr, this is equals to k r raised to power 0. R is the initial concentration. Right, then we need to integrate it. When we will integrate it, we will get this value, that is r is equals to minus kt plus this constant. And after solving, you will get this as your answer. Okay? After solving, why not solving it? Time is less. Right? Okay. So here, this is the potential graph. Right? This is basically activation energy. Without the catalyst, activation required is large. But with the catalyst, the path, the activation energy required is less. Okay? That is why positive catalyst will help, will increase the rate of the reaction. Right, then they are saying explain SN1 mechanism of conversion of tert butyl bromide to tert butyl alcohol. Explain Woods fatigue reaction. What are freons? So 3 questions we have. First is SN1 reaction. SN1 means two-step reaction. Two-step reaction means there is carbocation formation. So firstly there is carbocation will be formed. After that nucleophile will attack here, and then you will have the formation of the new substituted product. Right, that is SN1. In SN2, you have transition state formation. Okay. Next is Woods reaction. Woods reaction means, wait a minute, this will be Woods fatigue now. Yes. In Woods fatigue, one is aryl halide, other is alkyl halide. And you react this with sodium in presence of dry ether, you will have the formation of alkyl benzene here. Okay. What are freons? Freons are chlorofluorocarbon compounds of methane, ethane, and they are called freons. Right? CFCs. Chlorofluorocarbons. Next is how does formaldehyde react with concentrated alkali on heating? Give equations, the equation that is given to you, right? So basically guys, this is nothing but this is formaldehyde they are saying, no, this is nothing but this is Stephen's reduction only. As you can see here, if you have a formaldehyde here, it will be converted to a reduction product here, right? Wait a minute, I think some identify P and Q. This form, this is not, wait a minute, I'll just delete this because, yes, this is not that question that Okay. Now, the question is explain Hoffman-bromamide degradation reaction. Hoffman-bromamide degradation reaction is basically when this CO will be vanished out and you will have the formation of amine here from amide, right? How do you convert disonium salt solution to idobenzene? You have disonium salt, react this with Ki, this will be converted to idobenzene. Last one is write the IUPAC name of this one. So on N position you have 3-methyl, so that will be called as NN dimethyl methanamine. Okay, so we have taken this as one of the group, that is methanamine. On N position you have one substituent, on N position you have another substituent. That's how we have written the IUPAC naming here, right? Next in Hayward's structure of maltose here. So this is the structure of maltose, as you can see, right? We have alpha D glucose unit, that is linked by this point and this point over here, 1 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, है ना, 1 and 4 linkages here. This is first linkage, this is fourth linkage here, right? That is the linkage of maltose. Next is what is essential amino acid deficiency of vitamin D. Okay, so essential amino acids are not synthesized in the body but provided in the diet, right? That's why this we take this particular amino acid outside from our body, right? And what is the example? If you have vitamin D deficiency, examples are lysine and valine. And if you have vitamin D deficiency, this is the example of essential amino acid. And this is, if you have deficiency of vitamin D, you can have the problem of rickets, right? That is basically bone deficiencies, muscle deficiencies here, also soft bone, joint pain in adults, right? All these are because of vitamin D, right? Then the main product formed when methyl chloride is treated with NaI. So as you can see here, this is basically, they are talking about the they are talking about the halogen exchange reaction. Can you tell me what is the name of this reaction? This is called Finkelstein reaction. This is called Finkelstein reaction, where alkyl halide treated with NaI, this will be replaced and you will have the formation of CH3I, halogen exchange Finkelstein reaction. Okay, next is you have 2,3,4-trichlorobenzene is subjected to hydrolysis. After hydrolysis, this Cl will be taken by, it will be eliminated and you will have the formation of OH here. That will be replaced. How it is replaced so easily without any Dow's process, because it has electron withdrawing group on the ortho and para positions. N-butyl chloride is treated with alcoholic. So alcoholic OH means dehydrohalogenation. So hydrogen and halogen will be eliminated here and you will have the formation of a alkene product here, right? Okay. Next is Grignard reagent reaction. Grignard reagent should be prepared in a hydrous condition. All these things, just give me a second here. Just give me a second. I think my class has started, guys. So wait a minute. How many questions we are left with? We are left with some 7-8 questions here. All the questions are from organic chemistry only. Okay, so what we will do now, it will not be able to, it's not possible to complete all those 5-7 questions. It will take me around you can say 15 minutes to complete those. So what we will do now, I'll pick out those questions, right? I'll give you the PDF of this. Okay, I'll give you the PDF of this, or I'll do one thing. I'll take this question in the next class. In the next class, I'll take these questions plus 5 marks questions. These 7-8 questions that I have picked out for you, plus those 5 marks question I'll give you in the next class. Okay? Yes. So guys, that's it for today. Till then, see you all in the next class, in the next session, that is for tomorrow, for 5 marks question, and the session PDF will be provided to you in the description box. Till then, bye-bye. Take care. Signing off. Bye-bye.